Hey guys, so I am in our storage slash craft room slash growing room, and I kind of wanted to go over what I have going on over here in our trial and errors and what we've done and what we've changed. So right now what I have growing here is onions, peppers, and tomatoes. I just started my tomato starts maybe last week. My peppers and my onions have been going, well, these have been going for 2 weeks. But if you notice down here, I have a bunch of others in different containers down here. So let me start off by going over what we first started. So I knew I wanted to start my own starts this year. And so what I did, I don't know why this is back here. I'm sorry. It must be so distracting. Anyways, it's distracting me just watching. Anyway, so these is what I had. So I bought a kit on Amazon that came with 2 of these trays with, or no, 3 of these trays, I believe. 3 of these trays with 3 of these lids. I actually thinking about it, I don't know where the third of those plastic containers are. Anyways, with these, with the vent holes and whatnot on top, with some tools and some, labels, okay, to label what everything is. So then I went and got these little pre-round disked ones and I planted, okay. And then I realized I didn't have heating pads. I didn't have lights yet. I just knew that these needed to germinate and be moist, and kept with the lid on like this until majority of the seeds germinated. Then you would take this off and put it under light. Okay. So I have started. Let me put these over here. So these are all onions. And these are a mixture of asparagus, celery, peppers, and I think that's it. So as you can tell, nothing really happened with these. These are dead. But the reasoning for it that I didn't try to bring them back to life is, I don't know if you guys can see, but mildew started to grow. See, I'm sure you can see it right there. Started to grow on these, and my dog got a hold of them. So, but I mean, nothing really happened with them. So this is definitely a big fail. So I highly recommend you not get these ones right here, because they are awful. They hold the water, they mildew before they dry out. And as you can tell, I didn't even get seeds started on these. Nothing germinated on these. So the ones that I was able to germinate, I put underneath here, which, let me get closer for you guys. All right, so I don't know if you guys can see very well underneath this light. This is my new growing light that I got. I just got this one. And I purchased this one. It was a set. Hold on, I'm trying to. There you go. It was a set for $50 for both of those on Amazon. So I grabbed those because what we were using was just fluorescent lights. I don't know if you can see them over here. We were using those right there. And I just felt like they were killing everything off and not doing what it was supposed to do. So I did spend the money and I got these. I can explain what these are in a minute. So these are the ones that we were able to get to still go. As you can tell, they're still pretty much growing and doing well. I gotta water them. And then I have, let me put this light on because I feel like it was too bright, but then I have up here in these new containers that I also bought on Amazon, and I will explain these and why I prefer these more. I just wanted you guys to get an up close picture. These are all my onions back here. We're gonna go ahead and we're going to trim those down. I will show you how to do that. And then these are my pepper plants. And then up here, I have my heating pads that I went and bought as well to help me germinate, with all my plants in here, which we're going to check them because I haven't checked them at all today. So this is the things we're going to do right now. So let's start back down at the bottom. All right, so now that you are as close as I think I'm going to be able to get you, let me see. These I'm going to finally get rid of. I was saving them to pretty much just do this video. So I'm going to get rid of all the other ones and just throw them away. But so these, I feel like with the light now that they're under the light, they are doing well. And you have to always water them. You see how dry they are? Let me see if I can pull this one up. I just watered these late last night too. So I don't know if you guys can really tell, but they're pretty dry. Okay, this one right here is one of my roasting peppers. And then I also want to mention my mini bells. So I only got a couple of these to sprout out of all the ones I planted. I do have more up on the heating mats in the other containers. I'm hoping I do better on those, but when I checked them yesterday, it didn't really look like anything was sprouting. So I do it with fresh water. I don't use tap water because I have city water and I don't want any of the chemicals, chlorine or anything like that to be in my plants when I water them. So pretty much what and I want to mention, so I just realized this, I don't know if you guys know what this is. This is a container for the Swift pads are in this. And when I was throwing it out yesterday, I said to myself, once I clean this, and I can use this as my bottom tray for some of my plants to fit in here to make it easier for me to water. And then I said too is it would be nice too if I could have this and actually plant in it. So we will see, but I figured I might as well. See, this is another mini bell that I don't think is going to survive. It's very tiny. I don't know if you guys can really see it in there, but I'm going to give it a little bit, another fighting chance, because a lot of these are really sad. Like, I don't know if you can see that second one in there is pretty sad looking. So I'm just going to try and mother them back to life and see how it all goes. But I'm gonna fill this tray and I will come back to water. I gotta figure this out. Hold on. Alright, so I am back. I actually pulled out all of the plants. I know you probably can't see it. There we go, right here on the floor. I pulled them out. Don't mind the dirt on the floor. I had a little incident and I was able to fill that up with 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 of them. So it makes it easier to take it in and out. So as you can tell, these are my starters right here. The ones that I thought were going to fail. I do have another one this is the King of the North pepper that doesn't look like it's going to survive either. Looks very sad. And then I have one celery plant that I don't know if it's going to survive. It has a lot of little, I don't know if you guys can see it. There we go. A little babies in there. Quite a few of them, but they've looked better. So that was the only celery one that planted that came out. I did redo some more. They're on the warming mat now too. So anyway, let me see if I can lower you guys down a little bit. There we go. Perfect. So I'm just going to, let's put this back up so we know what that is. So I'm just going to add a little bit of water in each one. I was using a spray thing, but I feel like it was hurting the plants, so I decided just to water them like this. So I'm trying not to overwater them because I'm really scared with these that they're going to get mildew. So I just put it back underneath there under the light. And this light runs from about 6 o'clock in the morning till about 8 o'clock at night, just so you know. Now I'm just going to water these little ones up. I think this is the best King of the North plant that I have. And it's very tiny, but it looks the best and it is super green. So That's going to go underneath there. I mean, I'm going to call this one. This one just looks so sad. This is Mini Bells. I mean, I don't know if you guys can see it, but they just look really sad in there. So I'm just going to put it underneath here. And this is the celery. I'm going to still baby this one and hope for the best. Because I know celery, they say, is very hard to grow and get to germinate. And it takes a very long time. So this one also looks really good. This is one of the West Indies habanero peppers. I mean, and because they're still seedlings, they all look the same. And this is why you have to label them. And this is 2 plants right here of my roasting peppers because I don't know how to pronounce the name. And here's another one of that same plant. So just water it a little bit to put it back under the light. And then I'll water them again one more time. As long as they look dry, they look wet, then I won't. This is I think my only habanero from this batch that survived. So my advice, no to these. I've had so much more success with these up here. So give me 1 second, I'm going to pull you closer. All right, so these, I love these. So far, so good. And I am planning on ordering more. These right here they cost a little bit more money. I still got them on Amazon. But they come in a tray, and then you have the cell right here. Okay, so the nice thing with these, they do come with their own lids right here. Oh shoot, I just got really wet. With the vent, and we will go up there and look at these plants because I can see some growth already up here. Oh, what the heck happened? We'll have to look at that one in a minute. So these right here, these 2 rows are my banana peppers. You can tell this cell right here, nothing is coming out, and I put a couple of seeds. I think with my peppers, I put 2 seeds in each cell. In this cell, not one germinated. I have 2 in this one, 2 in this one, 2 in that one. Only 1 germinated in this one. And then it looks like I have actually 3 in this one. So, and that's all the bananas. And then my roasting, I got 3, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3. So I got quite a bit of the roasting. But the nice thing is you can tell they're dry. I think, hopefully, let me see. You can, if I put it down. Yeah, you can see that they're dry, right? Except for the 2 on the corner are wet. So the nice thing is with this is you pull this out, okay? I don't know if you can see the roots or not. You can definitely see the roots of the onions. When I do the onions, I'll show you. But they have holes on the bottom. You see the holes on the bottom? Let me see if I can. Yep. So I'm going to fill up this tray from the bottom. I'm watering these from the bottom, and they will suck it all up. So I'm going to show you how much water I'm putting in here. So I'm putting about a quarter of water in there. Let me see if you can see. Okay, so it's like a quarter full of water. Okay, it's like, let me see. You can see on my finger. So right up to my fingertip, pretty much, my fingernail. And then I'm just going to literally put my plants right in it. You got to be careful not to overfill these because the water will gush out. I have not had it happen to me. But I'm going to let it sit there, and I'm not going to let it sit there. I'm going to do the same thing with these. These are my habaneros. Also, my habaneros are these 2 rows right here, and they did not do well. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 coming up. And there's 2 whole cells that never germinated, and the other ones only germinated 1. This is the only good one that I had. I'm not too sad about it because that's a lot of habanero plants already. So I'm not mad about that. And then these are my jalapenos. My jalapenos, actually, every cell has at least 1. Majority have like 3. So I'm going to do the same thing with this because you can tell that it's dry. Okay. Then I'm going to pull this up. Fill it the same amount. So it's like a half a bottle for each one. I'm going to sit it in there. I'm not going to let it sit in there longer than a half hour. So I'm just going to let it do that. And then the onions. So these are my onions. You can actually see that I don't need to water them. They are actually still pretty moist. So that is good. I'm going to check and just make sure there's no water underneath. Nope, just a little bit of water underneath, nothing bad. So, but let me show you what we're going to do with these. So you see how some are really long and some are not. These should stay about maybe 2 inches tall until they're ready to be seeded. Replanted. So I'm going to trim these, but not only am I going to trim those, I'm going to keep the trimmings and put them in. I just washed out this jar. I'm going to keep them in here and collect them to let them dry out so that way I can grind them up and use them as onion powder. Because if you actually taste one of these, let me come back up here. If you actually taste one of those, it tastes just like onions. I had my daughter try it. So I'm going to go ahead and I am going to trim them. This is my first trimming of them. And I'm just going to pretty much trim just enough to let it regrow. It's okay if the seeds are on it. The seeds will come up. Oh, I just pulled that one out. That's what a root looks like. Onion, that's okay. We'll stick that in there too. And then just gonna do the same thing on this one. I might actually discard the seeds. Obviously we're not gonna do those. But this is all you need to do. And then there you go. Seeds will grow stronger. And I'll come back in a couple days and trim it a little bit more. Okay, so now let's move on top to where all of our germination is going on. Okay, so as you can see, I have 2 heating pads on here. I got those from Amazon as well. And so these 2, I know for sure, tomatoes. The back ones, I believe, are celery and peppers. Okay, so I can see green right here. So let's check this tomato plant and see how it's going. Oh, wow. Look at those babies. They're really tall. All right, so these are my Roma tomatoes. Okay, and so what I'm actually going to do is, the vent was closed. I'm going to actually feed this condensation water back to them. So the vent was closed on this, and I'm just going to open it. There is still some. All right, so I actually changed my mind on this. I'm taking this off. I'm not going to even put it on. I'm going to let the complete air get to it because they're all pretty much sprouted. I may put it under the light now. Okay, actually, I am going to put it under the light. So I'm going to put it underneath near my onions. There we go. Hopefully those will do good. Now this is the next one. So this one I have, oh wow. So, okay, some are doing really well, some are not. So these 2 rows are Dad Sunsets, which looks to be kind of sad looking, honestly. I don't know what to do. These are the Green Zebras, which are not doing well for germination. So I think I'm going to open up the vent on this one for sure and let it stay on the heating pad maybe for another day or 2 and check it tomorrow. So we'll see how those go. Okay, and then over here, I've seen some more greenery right here. Let's switch these out. And what do we have here? Oh, these are like the beefsteak tomato plants. We can tell there are some cells I didn't take, but for most, the cells are full. So I am actually going to move this one down as well to the light. And there we go. Get the light on that, take that lid off. And it's funny because I just checked these yesterday, you guys, and they did not look like this. So let's check this one. So what is this one? This one doesn't look too, like it took too well. What is this? Oh, this is that Amish paste. Somebody did, I was watching a video, they said that it is very hard to get these to germinate. So as you can tell, there's like a big hole right here of non-germination, like 4 cells. So we will hope for the best with these, that these do well. So I'm going to open the vent on these and give those other cells a little bit more time. So let's hope for the best with that. And then this one right here. What is this one? This one is the King of the North. So these, I'm going to open the vent on this one as well and give it another day or two before I move them. So I'll put that there. And then these back here are my celery, I think. Yep. So only one thing sprouted, it looks like. I don't know if it's even a good sprout. I'm not calling this off yet because I've been seeing different videos where people says celery takes forever to germinate. So I'm just going to leave it here on this pad with a closed vent in the back and let it do its thing. I think I was watching some YouTuber that said it can take up to like 6 weeks for these to actually germinate. So I'm going to leave that here. So everybody has its own little spot. So I have moved some down there and now some are here. So you do want to check these every day after the first couple of days of putting them up on the heating pad. So, and now we're going to check on the water down below. All right, so down here, as you can tell, they are very wet. On top, they're no longer dry. There are some still little dry spots, but for the most part, they are very wet and absorb most of the water. This one you can tell is some more dry spots than others that needs a little bit more water, which I might have to see if that's clogged underneath. That's why it's not getting water. So I'm going to have to take a look at that. But let's just take a look and see how much water it took in from the bottom. So well, you can see that water just coming falling right out. All right. So look at that. That's all the water that's in there. I'm trying not to spill it, but let's see if I can go down below. That's it. That's all the water that's still in there. So I saved this water, you guys, so I don't want to waste it. It's still water. It's still good. Not for drinking, but to plant. So I'm just going to pour it back into the water bottle. Make sure you get most of it. Okay. That was in there. This was from yesterday's too. So there we go. And it's good to go. You don't want it to let it sit in its own water because it will go, can get. Let me see about this one cell right here. That's not really, oh, it's really wet on the bottom. Just for good measure, I am going to water a little bit on the top of this one. For some reason, it just wasn't getting water up top. So just to go, it was leaking below. Got me wet. So I'm going to pour, hold on, let me put this up here. Oh, this is leaking water. Let me shake it out a little bit. All right. And there you go. There you have it. That's how you water your plants in these, and they're doing very well. And I am going to buy some more of these to do the rest of my planting, my starters anyways, and get rid of these crappy things here. And yeah, so now I have, I'm probably just going to discard that because it's mostly seeds in there. But, so now I have my onions growing here under the light. I have my Roma tomatoes. Let's hope they do better. I have peppers and some of my red tomatoes there. So they're coming along. So I'll keep you guys updated.